But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
To somebody that doesn't care anything about cars, it's just another old car, but
Right.
it's a piece of history. It belonged to the first man on the moon.
Right.
It took us about 4 hours to get the stuff off of it. It had 30 years worth of boxes, and it was in the basement.
It was just buried under stuff. Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. So I brought it back here and got it running and just been tinkering with it, you know. That's pretty much all I've done to it. And then, well, I lived from where he took off probably 15 miles from where he left.
Yeah.
And the car was bought from Rathman Chevrolet. Jim Rathman gave them, starting in '62, for $1 a year. He would sell them a new Corvette, and they'd just come turn it in and get another one.
Yeah.
And when he turned that car in, the guy that I got it from bought it the next day. I think what it is just to document the way the car is now and keep it as close to the way it is now as you can, and then put it back drivable. Let's say drivable, not restored, not shiny, not pretty, just back, you know, as original as you can keep everything on. It's not about.
It's in extraordinary shape, yes. Yeah. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it hasn't been molested, it hasn't been played with, it has not been improved. This is just the wear and tear of time. That also gave him a great smile, I think, every time he popped in this one.
Yeah.
This is not a grocery getter.
Yeah.
This is forget what I do for a living. I'm going to go have fun for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
These were wonderful cars for just that purpose. You know, I can name the number of cars I personally have owned that did that on my thumbs.
Right.
Okay. Most of what I've owned in my life were grocery getters. This, on the other hand, this is a dumb green car.
Right.
It's a shame he's not here, because I think he really would have enjoyed seeing this again.
Goal, too, is, of course, hopefully to get to whoever Armstrong's contemporaries were in 1967, whether it's astronauts or NASA buddies. But hopefully what we're going to do is also to preserve through his contemporaries, his reactions, things he did with the car.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's part of the importance, which will ultimately humanize one of America's iconic heroes. And there's something very important with that, because hopefully some small school child looking at the car will rein in his sense of wonder and awe to realize that Neil Armstrong was a real guy, like his dad or like someone else. And if a child can aspire to be a hero, because while his hero is larger than life, his hero is a real person, then isn't that a better goal than totally mythologizing our heroes? Because then maybe it's in all of us to be someone like Neil Armstrong. So to me, it works on a whole number of levels. It's a very time-consuming process, but you can actually return the car. The goal should be that when the fender sections are replaced, you should not be able to tell where the old ends and the new begins. And that includes recreating the strata of debris that's adhered to the underside of the fenders.
Right.
So essentially, when you're doing a preservation, nothing should be perceptible to the naked eye. Now,
did you have kind of an emotional moment with this car?
Well, I think everybody who was alive, who were one of the 600 million people who witnessed the moment in history, or the moment in mankind in 1969. I mean, everybody here who's in our age bracket can tell you where they were at that moment. I was upstate New York, so if you had told the 15-year-old Eric Gill that years later, into his elder years, whatever you want to call it, that I would be involved with the man on the moon's car. It would, to me, it would be inconceivable.
Right.
So it's a privilege and an honor to be assisting and shepherding the car along.
Listen,
Oh, jeez.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Boy.
Okay, we're going to be busy for a minute. Houston, that may have seemed like a very long final phase. The auto-targeting was taking us right into a football field-sized crater with a large number of big boulders and rocks for about one or two crater diameters around it. And it required us going in T-66 and flying manually over the rock field to find a